And some of what I'm about to show you may come as a surprise to the other side of the aisle. And you may want to go back and redraft it again, I don't know. But the 1994 to 2004 so-called assault weapons ban banned firearms by cosmetics and by name, much the same as this bill does, cosmetics and by name, without regard for the actual lethality of the firearm. And what happened between 94 and 2004 is the manufacturers, within a year or two, just changed the names and the designs of the firearms so that by 1996, they were making them all again. And then by 2004, there were at least twice as many of these types of firearms in circulation as there were before the ban. So I don't know how you make the argument that the 94 to 2004 ban reduced crime because it reduced the number of assault weapons, so-called, because it didn't reduce the number.
Gentlemen, yield for a second. Just for a
I
second.
will here in a little bit. I've got some other points I need to make. So the other side of the aisle says, this bill will ban weapons of war. Really? Will it? Let's look at the exempted list. You guys might want to get out the bill and check this. It exempts the M1 Garand. I'm going to read you, so you can still, after this bill passes, you can own an actual weapon of war. What they're calling weapons of war are not weapons of war. They're sporting rifles, but what they're not banning are the actual weapons of war. The M1 Garand is not banned by this bill. And in a letter to General Campbell from General Patton says, in my opinion, the M1 rifle is the greatest battle implement ever devised. Guess what? Not banned in this bill. The actual weapon of war. What else isn't banned in this bill? The quintessential Chinese Army weapon of war. The SKS is not banned by your bill. Very charitable to allow people to own this piece of Cold War history. Here's the Chinese Army practicing drills with one of the weapons they're most proud of, which is the SKS. Not banned in this bill. An actual weapon of war. The bill does ban sporting firearms, though. What do we have here? Well, the gun they're primarily going after in this bill is the AR-type firearm, which stands for Armalite, not assault rifle. It shoots this cartridge, .223. It was designed so that it was lighter weight, and frankly, it's not even suitable. I mean, some people use it to deer hunt, but it's not the preferred caliber for deer hunting. This is the cartridge that is used by the M1 Garand, which is not banned by this bill. It's many times more powerful. Let's talk about another weapon of war. What do we have here? This is Iwo Jima. This is the M1 carbine, also not banned by this bill. A technical, literal weapon of war. Yes, they're over there whispering to themselves, oh my gosh, why didn't we ban that? Why didn't we think to ban that? Because you're not banning weapons of war. You're banning the most commonly sold sporting rifle in the United States right now. You're not banning weapons of war. If you were serious about it, you would ban the quintessential Chinese weapon of war. You would ban the rifle that General Patton, described as the finest battle implement ever devised. You would ban it, but you're not. And you would ban the M1 carbine that was used to take Iwo Jima, but you're not. You're not banning weapons of war. You're banning firearms that law-abiding people who are just exercising their Second Amendment rights go out and buy and purchase every day and use to defend their families.
Would the gentleman now yield?
And with that, I yield back.
Would the gentleman yield?
I'll yield to the chairman, and I would love it if
Thank
he could
you.
tell us why he didn't ban weapons of war in a bill that's supposed to.
I just want to point out that whatever the weaknesses of the 1994 bill, gun deaths went down by 25% promptly, And when the bill was allowed to lapse, they went right back up.
And if I may respond to that, Mr. Chairman, if they went down, which they probably did because crime overall went down during that period, it wasn't because the number of assault rifles went down. They actually went up from 94 to 2004.